dog because he's whining like a little pansy puppy.
Ooh.
Like that?
And then you put a chest in the middle. The middle.
Oh.
And that makes a hopper. Yeah. Hey, we're here, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us once again. The Boss is Gaming. I'm Kaiju. I have no idea what the hell's wrong with BK, and with me here is Juggernaut Jared.
Hello.
And on the small camera where you can only see parts of him, Rocky, I think.
No, Everett.
Oh, Everett. And Necro Nick, too.
Hello.
And off to the side of us, Mama Bear Maxine. Hello, Mama Bear. That's her hand.
Hi, Mama Bear's hand.
Thank you for joining us once again to a random podcast with the guys. There were plans to do other things, but they're plans, and they didn't work out. So, damn, Necro, you bring enough for class?
Shut up.
Anyway, I have no idea what's wrong with me today. I was sitting in line at frickin' Sam's Club, and I started to feel drained, and I just felt it ever since. So I'm going to try to put on a smile and get this started. So tonight's little conversation, this little podcast here, is the remakes, the reworks that we love and that we hate. And the sad truth is, I mostly hate. So just going to say this at the top of my voice right now. We will be excluding Disney live-action remakes.
Oddly terrifying.
They are not good. No. Aladdin was okay.
I'm sorry, but Will Smith is no Robin Williams.
I never said it was great. It's not the animated series, okay? I never said it was great. I said it was good.
Yeah.
Okay? That being said, no, nothing else, no. And before you get on the bandwagon and say, oh, he hates the Little Mermaid because she's black. No, I actually like the idea that she was black. She's a wonderful actress, a wonderful singing job. I just was mortified by all the animal sidekicks and their realism. Sebastian the Crab was absolutely terrifying. Flounder the Fish was, oh my goodness. No, it's just no. In fact, if you think about it, in the original book, not only does it have a sad ending, by the way, it has a horrible ending, but they never have actual names. She's just the Little Mermaid, the Sea Witch, the Sea King, the Prince. They have no names.
True, very true.
So I'm just throwing it out there. In fact, in the original book, it doesn't even mention the color of her skin. I re-looked. It mentions her hair and the green of her tail. So they kept that right. So, I mean, I can't say she's racially insensitive. It's the truth. But Disney films, stop making live action. They do not compare to the animated versions at all. It's a box office hit. We made $12 million off of it, and it only cost us $96 million to make it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a little worried about the whole Transformers thing, but that's just me.
You mean the Transformers thing? The thing that keeps failing, but Michael Bay just doesn't give a damn?
Yeah, pretty much.
Michael Bay doesn't give a damn.
Money off of it.
He told people, literally, I'm not even joking, he told people that were on stage booing him that he doesn't give a fuck about them.
Well,
he's already halfway making the sequel and is lining his pockets. They can boo him and give him bad reviews all they want. They're watching the movies and they're paying him. He doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
If you don't like the movies so much, why are you watching it?
Yeah, stop watching them and stop complaining about them. If you don't want to watch them, don't watch them. All right, so this being brought up, I want to bring up a serious one for a moment. The Final Fantasy remake for Final Fantasy VII. What a piece of that was.
Hey, let's wreck a good game and, well, let's not make it like the old game was in general.
Yeah, see, they really thought that they had the right thing by making Cloud the only playable character, action commands, horrible controls, a lackluster story, and waiting years and years and years for a sequel that, by the way, we still haven't gotten.
Nope.
Where's that sequel you guys were promising? Oh, it's not actually a reboot. It's a reimagining. And after you saw how poorly it did, you guys stopped making the series.
I can reimagine my butt, but it doesn't mean that it's gonna work.
Yeah, just seriously. No amount of filters is gonna make my butt look any nicer.
By the way,
Uh-oh.
happy birthday, Rebel, if you're listening.
Oh, that's right.
Happy birthday, Rebel.
Happy birthday, Rebel.
Okay, so now that being said,
You know what was a good reboot?
what?
The Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
That wasn't really a reboot, that was just another movie.
But they call it a reboot.
And it had nothing to do with the reboot. You know what was a good reboot? Reboot. The 3D Cartoon Network show. That was...
Jay and Silent Bob, the reboot, was just a retelling of what happened in modern times with Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yeah. You know what, though? I still think they need to make a Legend of Zelda and Jay and Silent Bob in it. Think about it. Silent Bob is already Link. He's quiet. He doesn't say anything if he doesn't have to. And Jay could be freaking Navi, the wisecracking fairy that never shuts up. Get the Rock to play Ganondorf, you know, nice big toned guy. Have some snowflake play freaking Princess Zelda. Throw in a few random actors for the random parts and watch Jay and Silent Bob screw the out of the movie. There you go. I'd watch it.
I would watch it.
I'd pay $1 to see that. I would. Other things. Reboots, remakes, etc. So we've pretty much proven Disney. Let's just also stop with Batman and Spider-Man and Superman, shall we?
Any superhero movie.
No, like, how many times does Batman's origin story have to be told?
Yeah.
It's done, all right? Boo-hoo, parents died, became a Caped Avenger, became the world's greatest villain. No one realizes it. Superman, little boy, lands on a planet after his parents save his life, grows into Superman, and has to stop the supposed species he's part of who's extinct. Who, let's just face facts, it's not extinct. He got his cousin, he got his sister, he got Power Girl, you got all these damn Kryptonians popping up everywhere. Oh,
you even have his damn dog.
Yeah, you have Crypto the super dog and Sparky the super cat. Y'all done. Y'all done, alright? Krypton is there still, alright? And Spider-Man, I am sick and tired of watching some scrawny guy become Spider-Man again. Miles Morales is doing it animated. I say they stick animated. In fact, I think they should just make animated movies from now on. There's just, could you imagine, okay, just imagine, the original Cowboy Bebop anime style, okay? With all that fast-moving, gunshot, gunflare, everything like that. Use that animation and make John Wick the animation.
Ooh.
Would you not watch that? Would you not watch John Wick as an anime character?
Yes.
I'm just saying. Y'all gotta step away from real life. Y'all gotta step away from cartoons and start throwing anime in. And the last Airbender, Avatar, was not a bad anime. And it was an American-made anime.
But it was a horrible movie.
It was a horrible movie. So was Dragon Ball Evolution, but no one talks about that. It doesn't exist. Except in the Cell universe as a torture method. We're doing this for the good of everyone. Give you what you guys doing? No, no, no! They're outside just listening in fear. No, no!
Meanwhile, on the inside.
Okay, the 10-10-9, you want him, yes. One good second, guys.
I have 3 of them.
Oh, you have 3 of them? Then throw them in. Hurry up before you get another one. You're running out of time. Oh, she's too late. She got another one. She's breeding chickens next to me, so.
I's learning.
She's learning how to breed chickens that make wood. Don't ask. Don't ask. Especially you, Necro. Do not ask how
on there.
Don't ask, okay? Just don't ask why the chickens are making wood.
What kind of mod do you have on there?
Chicken stick.
More chickens. And chicken sticks. Anyway, Let me go to the video games, and this is kind of where you have the hit and misses. Okay? Heroes of Might and Magic 1 was an okay game. It was very flawed. Heroes of Might and Magic 2 was a horrible game. Heroes of Might and Magic 3, however, that starts going up. Heroes of Might and Magic 4, you better believe it. Heroes of Might and Magic 5, it's good. Heroes of Might and Magic 6, oh, please stop. You gotta stick with a formula. Just remember the military motto, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. How do you remake a Sonic game? Keep the same formula, add a new bad guy, add new stages, but keep the original formula, which is, gotta go fast. No, now we have him bouncing off walls, transforming into werewolves with stretchy arms, and becoming a knight. He's got an emo villain with his own game that shoots people with guns. Rogue is far too sexy for her own good. I am very sorry about that. There's just something about that creepy bat that's sexy. I'm not gonna lie. But like, you can't screw up a game. Look, Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles. All 4 of those games were one thing. Amazing.
Yep.
Now, I understand that a lot of these younger people who are watching have no freaking clue what I'm saying. It was on the system called the Sega, which used to be a boss system. But yeah, those games were phenomenal. Those were great games. Mario 1, Mario 3, Super Mario World, all phenomenal games. I can't say Mario 2 because technically the United States never officially got Mario 2.
No.
We got Doki Doki Panic with a bunch of freaking paint smears slapped on it to look like Mario characters. It's not the same game, it's different. The real one, or aka Lost Levels that we got on the Super Nintendo, was so difficult that some people to this day have never actually beaten the game. Yeah, I have never beaten the Lost Levels, and I hate myself for it. They are tough as hell.
Me either.
There is literally a stage 8-2, I remember it. The entire stage involves you constantly moving because there's nothing under you. You have to run and jump onto the back of a paratrooper and then keep aiming for more flying characters as you go. And if you miss one, you fall, die, and have to go back to the beginning again. And to make matters worse, the timer is set so you have 5 seconds of extra time if you beat the game, if you beat as fast as you can. You have 5 seconds to hit that flag. So you have a 5-second window of screwing up. Oh my goodness, it's tough. Some other remakes I know. Let's start with the Final Fantasy, shall we? We might as well go into this little hellish hole, shall we? Final Fantasy 1 was an amazing game. A little weird. They remade it, made it better, but still a good game. Final Fantasy 2 is a far cry from a decent game, but I'm willing to give it credit that it's an okay game. Final Fantasy 3 started to get the formula right. You know, make your characters, pick their classes. 4, great. 5, great. 6, great. 7, great. 8, great. 9, great. 10-ish. Okay.
We don't continue after 10.
10-2 was a lot better than 10, in my personal opinion.
Yeah,
You have to pick your class.
that didn't deal with fucking lightning.
No, that's...
And it reminded me of like 9, 8, and 7.
Right. And then there's Final Fantasy 11.
What game?
We don't talk about that one. Then there's Final Fantasy 12, which was interesting. And then there was this series of games that came after it, which... Let's see. Final Fantasy 13, Final Fantasy 13-2, Final Fantasy 13-3. How can you choose a game that nobody liked with characters that nobody liked and make not one but 2 sequels that were just worse? And then they failed on the original Final Fantasy 12, or was it 11? Whichever one was the online one. So you know what they did? They failed horribly. So what did they do? They made Final Fantasy XIV, which still failed. But thousands of people played it, and lots of people are still playing World of Warcraft. Nobody cares.
Thousands of people played Fallout 76 when it came out, and see what happened with that.
Hello, Quabs. Yeah. That's just, it's... Oh, there's 2 million people playing the game right now. That's not missing. Yeah, compared to the other systems out there. There's still 19, 20, 21 million people playing Battlefield 2 online. It's null and void. You have nothing to say. I'm sorry.
True, right.
I'm just saying, like, when Battlefield 2 still has 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times more people playing it than your state-of-the-art RPG, there's something wrong. But we made multiple classes. No, you didn't. You made 5 classes, gave them dozens of paint jobs, made one interesting class, but made it only able to go up to a certain level, and afterwards, it can't do shite. That's all they did.
Yeah.
That's all they did with it. And then Final Fantasy 15, or as I like to call it, Final Fantasy Pretty Boy Edition. Which was even worse!
Final Fantasy 15, the death of the franchise.
Yeah, because I don't think there's been one after that. It was just Kurt Cobain, and just boom. I'm sorry. That was such a bad series. Everything that happened after 12, and a little bit of 12, but everything that happened after 12 just sucked. 12's only claim to fame is that if you have the PC version, you can mod it. Then it's fun as hell. Then it is 100% fun as hell. Oh my goodness. Then it's fun. You can't lose then. It's fun. But everything past that, all failures. And they all failed because of one thing. They just changed the formula. Why did you change the formula? Keep it simple, stupid.
Or another one. Don't fix what isn't broken.
There you go. See, a lot of the times you're like, we heard what the fans wanted and we gave them what they wanted. No, you didn't. You didn't hear shit. Because if you heard anything, 13 would have been a rocking game. You could have kept. You could have kept the characters. What?
Oh, God.
You could have kept the characters. Yeah, I know 13 doesn't exist. But you could have kept the characters, made the game gigantic, a world-stretching game where you could go and explore and adventure and try to find some way to save your characters, and side quests and mini-games and all kinds of fun stuff. And instead, what you get is 30 hours of following a line. There is no turn left. There is no turn right. There is no confusing backwards corners. There is nothing. You simply walk forward. That's it. Sometimes you turn to the right. Sometimes you turn to the left. But you might as well be on an escalator fighting enemies. So they tried to fix it in X2 by giving you 2 paths to take that keep coming back together. And at the end, it's a straight line again. So apparently they said, we heard from the fans, we know what they want.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
The 13-3 is Majora's Mask meets Final Fantasy. You have a time limit, and you have to keep resetting time in order to have more time. That's it. Except you have to keep fighting the same stupid bosses over and over again. Even when you're godly with level 99, the characters are still, I can beat you in a fight. No, you can't. Stop, please. Please stop. A recent remake that has sucked horribly, in my personal opinion, is Final Fantasy Breath of the Wild 2. Or as I like to call it, Skyrim with the Zelda mod.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, because that would be insulting Skyrim. That would straight up insult Skyrim, and I apologize for pretending to insult Skyrim, because that doesn't work. Skyrim's an amazing game. Breath of the Fire was not. I don't care how many people get upset with me. Breath of the Wild sucked. The music doesn't exist. The world is empty, flat. There's nothing there. You fight the same 3 enemies so many times I started calling them Billy Bob, Joe, and Thornton. Oh yeah, they're a different color. Oh no, this one has a club. This one has a bow. Doesn't matter. And of course, the best part was every weapon you have, except for the Master Sword, breaks after like 10 to 15 hits. Imagine you are a military might and your weapons keep breaking.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about sticks and bones. I'm talking like steel swords and magical bow and arrows and you know that kind of stuff. Stuff that looks like it lasts and it's gone. So they said, we know what we're gonna do. We're gonna make it better by introducing even more empty space in the world. By giving you the air and the underground, which are empty as shit. And the original map on top of that, which is still empty as shit. And your weapons still break. But hey, you can glue stuff to the front of the weapon. Like you could take a stick and put it in front of another stick and have a stick. Or you have a sword and stick a mushroom to the top of it. But
why?
I never figured it out. Oh, but you can make vehicles that fly around for maybe a minute before they disappear. Oh, but it's such an amazing game. No, it's not. It's such a horrible game. But people will see Legend of Zelda and they will fight you tooth and nail to prove that it's the greatest Legend of Zelda. No. Legend of Zelda 1 was a fanatical game. Nick beat the whole thing in like 6 hours. It was great to watch. Original mode and expert mode, by the way, folks. Not just one. He beat them both. Then there comes the one that no one talks about. Zelda 2. Or as I like to call it, Link needs to go to the bathroom. You are so stiff in that game when you run and jump that it looks like you are just trying to hold it in. Like, you ever have to go to the bathroom really badly and you're just like, you're like trying to get the, you know, that's what he looks like when he's running around. That's it.
You're like 2 football fields away from the bathroom. Gotta make it.
Just like sucking the cheeks in as deep as you can, rocking. That's what it's like. That's what it's like. And if you die, oh no, you don't go to the beginning of the stage or the last town you visited. No, that would be too easy. Play Zelda 2, the modded edition, however, and they fixed that. No, they send you, hello puppy, all the way back to the original area. All the way back where Zelda's still past the scout because she decided not to wake up that morning. And after you get the Triforce form, after you get the Triforce from Ganon, no, you don't even get Ganon. You don't even get to fight Ganon. You fight Shadow Link, where you just crouch in a corner and keep stabbing and you win. That's it. That's the fight. Woo! Terrifying monster. Then they brought out A Link to the Past on Super Nintendo. Such a good game. Why are all Super Nintendo games amazing? I can't figure it out. From there, we got things like Ocarina of Time, which was okay. Majora's Mask, which they probably should have put a little bit more time behind. Yeah, a little bit. I think it was like Wind Waker, which I thought was cute. A lot of people didn't like how toony it was. I thought it was cute. Skyward Sword, which I thought was really fun, except for the controls. And we get through all that, and then we finally get the greatest game ever. Wind Waker, which is supposed to promise adventure, action, suspense, nothing. You get it. You can literally go to the last boss and beat him within an hour. You can. That's how easy the game is. You can beat the last boss in an hour. Well, and the boss gauntlet before it. But it's just like, people just keep singing praise about this game. And it's just like, why are you doing this? Why are you lying to yourselves? Have you never played a video game before? Have you never heard of, like, Link to the Past? Have you never heard of Legend of Zelda and the Season of Spirits? Have you never played any of these? Like, have you ever played Legend of Zelda 3D? No? Well, maybe you should. It's fun, but you don't get that. And that's the problem with people nowadays. We have no thought processes anymore. What are we going to do today? We're going to remake a movie that was made back in the 1950s. Okay, but we're going to change it. And that's basically everything that's come out in the past, like, 20 years.
Yeah.
Think about it. Every superhero movie is just a comic book. Everything else is just a remake. Like, there are no original movies coming out. Disney's the elements. Yes, but I mean...
It's like I've said. Hollywood has gone creatively bankrupt.
Without doubt.
Because you're taking franchises that are going to have spin-off after spin-off after spin-off. Hell, I love horror movies. Look at The Conjuring, and now you have The Nun and Annabelle.
Random story universe lore is just a few words. Two facts are fighting in this ghost war that only one of them knows is happening. Group 1 has the goal of taking over the world and removing corruption. What? Wait, hang on. That's the exact plot of Team Fortress 2.
like how many? I'm waiting. When is it going to reboot Fast and the Furious? Because they've made so many sequels to it.
They're still making them.
Yeah. Fast. It's like Fast and the Furious 12 or something now. What are they up to? Like
10.
10, and I think they're scheduled until 13.
Can we call 10 Fast 10 your seatbelts?
I like it.
Fast 10 your seatbelts. I think that's great.
Yeah.
Could make it a comedy.
But it's like when Paul Walker died, that should have been the end of the franchise.
And Vin Diesel wanted it to be the end of the franchise. But Vin Diesel had signed on for like 13 or 14 movies, and he couldn't just break contract.
Mm-hmm.
And while all the other stars were like, we got to stop this, they didn't. And they just kept going with it. Even against Puppy Dog again with Big Tongue. Hello, Puppy Dog! I see you! With the sad eyes! There's a fat puppy! Hello, fat dog!
Hello.
You're being watched, Everett. You see the people? Oh, now you see the people.
Where are your nuts at? Where are your nuts at, Emmerich, huh? Where are your nuts at, huh?
Non-existent.
Yeah, I know. They're in a jelly jar somewhere in the back of a pharmacy or something. Now, just...
I mean, it's just like if you go video games, you have the Fallout franchise.
Yep. Uh-oh. Look out. Run. Run, my bear, run.
You mean the franchise that could have came out with an amazing game called 90 or 69, but then called it 76 and fucked it all up?
Yeah. Listen.
What?
The first couple games were good. 3 was decent.
Yes.
New Vegas was amazing.
Damn straight.
Yeah.
4, they kind of lost a step or two.
But it was still good.
It was still good. And then the Fallout games that should not exist, and they should have called it New Vegas 2.
Which they're coming out with now, by the way. They're making Vegas 2. Which is supposed to happen like 10 years after the events of the Mojave.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to expand the area and everything like that.
Yeah.
So it's just a blue land.
You know Fallout doesn't play that way. You know Fallout don't play that way.
But, come on. We had a whole bunch of nukes go off.
But 76.
Oh, please stop.
Hold on.
I don't want 76 anymore.
They said it in West Virginia. With the name 76, you would have thought, I don't know, Spirit of 76, Philadelphia.
That would have been fun.
Come on, who wouldn't have wanted to shoot a nuke at the Liberty Bell?
I'd be afraid it would bounce off. Tang! We tried shooting Liberty Bell. It went bang and went flying that way somewhere.
No, you want to know what you call Fallout 76 in real life?
What?
An Eagles game.
I think my cousin just got angry. I can just feel the anger. Well, here's the thing: like, if they did nuke Philly, the Philadelphia people would just be too angry and too tough to actually care.
Exactly. It would be called the Philadelphia Eagles game. Or Philadelphia Phillies game. Yes, I purposely tried to piss off Philadelphia.
I can feel them being pissed off. Please send any of your complaints to hashtag JuggernautJared at modernsgaming@gmail.com.
We condone his hatred.
Oh.
Listen, I'm a Dolphins fan. We're facing you fuckers this year.
Yeah, but Kyle's a Giants fan. If anything, he should have the hatred.
Why? We lose to him every time.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're in the division.
Listen.
But anyway, yeah, 76 could have been set in Philly, could have been anything, but not multiplayer.
Yeah, we wanted multiplayer. We wanted multiplayer with Vegas, and some guys modded it to make it playable, and you guys suck.
No. The thing is, you're saying multiplayer. No, what we wanted was co-op.
You're right, and you get that with the mod.
Yes.
I would have understood, private rooms, kind of like Ark. You need a friend code or something to get into it, or only your Steam friends or whatever. No, they made it online MMO.
Oh, you missed it though. You can play on the public servers, where everyone and their grandmother has a chance to screw you over, or you could buy a private server, which would cost you $39.99 a month. And if you couldn't pay it, they would wipe the entire server and take you off of it. So if you tried to get back on, too bad, you got to start new again. Let's talk about Ark, shall we, real quick? Ark Survival Evolved. What an amazing game! Spectacular game, well thought out. Still getting adaptations to it right now. They just added like a big bug and some kind of sand lizard to it. Really cool. They announced Ark 2. And they announced that Ark 2, they were going to make a new Ark 1, which was going to have amazing graphics. And then they decided that they were going to say, okay, so what we're going to do is, when Ark 2 comes out, we're just going to delete all of Ark 1. Now, when I mean delete, the way they described it was, the game would no longer be playable.
Nuke.
You would go to turn it on, it would say, error, cannot play. You would have to buy the brand new game, 100%. And you'd have to buy the brand new game, Ark 2, which would come with Ark 1, the remastered version. And you'd have to buy the game all over again. They promised Ark 2 would come out sometime this year. They are still 2+ years in development for Ark 2. They promised the new reformed, reimagined, re-graphics Ark 1 would come out this year. They are 3 years behind schedule in that.
Yeah.
And at the end of June, they're still going to delete Ark 1. Did I mention the fact that all of their pre-sales and all their pre-purchases have been going away because people are just pulling it for the project?
Mm-hmm.
They lost almost 11 million pre-orders in the past 2 weeks. They had like 14 million pre-orders. That's a lot of money gone now. Poof.
Yeah.
How about this one? I know I've brought it up a few times. I promise it'll be the last one. I bring it up though. Overwatch 2. To what? They took everything from 1, dumbed it down, screwed it over, gave it an extremely expensive matchmaking program, hid all the new characters behind walls that you'd actually have to grind to get, which would take 50, 60, 70, 80 hours of playing the game and winning to unlock the characters. And if you didn't, they were still behind the wall. Oh, but you could pay to get those levels. Yeah, you could pay $20 to bypass 10 levels. So if the characters where they usually hide them around level 60, you're looking at about $120.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention all the DLCs, which is way.
DLCs, the graphics that appear in your hand, the little keychains that are attached to your wrists and to your guns, the little dance emojis that never work. And they sit there saying, this is a fantastic, phenomenal, amazing game. And it's not. They said we have 12 million people playing this constantly. It's a good game. And then it comes out when one of the guys quits that there's only like 1.5 million people playing it. There's literally more people playing that vampire game of Nick, Red Falls. There's 2 million people currently playing that. Only 1.5 million people are playing Overwatch 2 right now. And it's a success.
Yeah, you know what sucks about Redball?
Everything?
Well, it's an okay game, but me and Deathgasm literally uninstalled the game, and reinstalled it, and still having the same issue.
Listen, I downloaded the demo and played the game for 15 minutes, okay? In that 15 minutes, so first of all, it took me 40 minutes to get into the game.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I could only play for 5 minutes the first time before it crashed, another minute after that before it crashed, and then another 9 minutes before it crashed again. In that time period, I shot several vampires and was amazed at the fact that not only did they not drop any kind of ammunition or anything, but I couldn't pick up their weapons. You know, the weapons that are literally right there. Right there. Now, normally I wouldn't have a complaint about this, but you're in survival. Every bit counts. And then I realized that their AI was so stupid. You could literally trick them into running up to you, and as long as you kept crouching and standing up, they would sit there and be like, as you shot them to death. I beat a vampire because he glitched himself into a wall and couldn't teleport out. And this game people are paying $70, $80 for? Who pays?
I only spent 30.
Huh?
I only spent 30.
Oh. Well, how much did Deathgasm spend?
100.
Case in point.
Case in point. 130 divided by 2 is still a lot of money. $65 each.
Well, how about the games that we play? Payday 2. Amazing, but then they come out with Payday 3, which still isn't out yet.
They've shown us nothing about it. They've told us nothing about it.
Exactly.
And they plan to keep it as secretive as possible until a week before release. Yeah, a week before release, and they're going to send out copies to other people who are pro gamers and let them play it. Payday 1 was an enjoyable game. Payday 2 is a frustrating hellhole of a game, but I enjoy playing it. What is Payday 3 bringing to the table? We don't know.
Zombies.
Don't you joke about it. They might. I mean, we got the last DLC for it. We got the last DLC, the weapon pack. We're not getting any more DLCs for Payday 2. Payday 2 is done. So now they're all working on Payday 3. Which, if I remember correctly, is either coming out late 2024 or early 2025. Still
no, Payday 3 will bring out guys like the boss from the first level of Wolfenstein.
It's Mega Hitler!
the guy with the 2 Gatling guns that you have to pretty much be Neo from the Matrix to dodge every single bullet.
Oh man, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
I mean, look at the Resident Evil franchise.
I'm looking at it.
I'm sorry. It was after 4 what Resident Evil games?
Now, I will be 100% with you. I do agree. Both Resident Evil 5 and Resident Evil 6 were disappointing, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
RE7 was a breath of fresh air and scary as hell.
Okay.
Just because you were stuck in first person. That was scary shite right there. It's hard to play the game when every time you go around the corner, the next Ooga Booga just... No.
is right there.
And not to mention the mother of the family crawling everywhere with a beehive where her hoo-ha should have been. That was just messed up. That was just no. I'm sorry. No.
Were you in the splash zone with that one?
That was a horrible splash zone. And then just to be jerks about it, they brought out 8. Now you want to crouch while you're doing it to drop the chest or drop the crouch. And now try it. Right, there you go. And then you can put the furnace on top of that. But yeah, so Resident Evil 8 was okay. Or Village, as they're calling it, was okay. Wasn't really a fan of the whole storyline. I knew that Lady Dimitrix or Lady Dump Truck, depending on who you are, was going to turn out to be some kind of horrific monstrosity of tentacles, and I was not wrong. But, like, the final boss sucked. The boss before the final boss was fucking amazing. Going up against Heisenberg as a tank and some kind of horrible monster in a freaking tank, that was fun. But the game was just... it had the reverse issue. Where most games are dull at the beginning and they get really exciting as they go along. It was exciting at the beginning. And then it just kind of... Can you think of an exciting part after you get jumped by all the werewolves?
I didn't play it, so...
Oh, okay. In fact, I don't even think I really see the werewolves anymore after the first person, you know? You get chased into the castle by what appears to be like 3 people. And Big Mama Dominatrix. And a bunch of slow-moving, stupid zombies that Lady Dominatrix will kill for you if you just time it. And then you fight Lady Dominatrix, and that was something. That was a fight. Go and fight the doll maker in her creepy doll house, which has no real enemies in it. Except for an instant-kill baby and a bunch of baby dolls that you have to fight. And then you go fight Squid Boy, who is the enemy throughout the stage. So that's fun. And then you go through Heisenberg's entire factory where the enemies are tough, but they're slow as hell and you can get around them. So you don't have to fight them if you don't want to. And then you fight one of the most amazing boss fights I ever fought. And then it just goes away. And then they made a DLC where you play as his daughter who has psychic powers and magical powers and the ability to create things and summon magic, summon bullets, summon guns. And I think, wait, when did I plug Bullet Witch in? That's a game that's way more fun than this. And now they're remaking everything. They remade 1 for like the 13th or 14th time.
Yeah.
They brought out 2, which they've remade, 10, 15 times. 3, which they completely ruined 3, in my opinion. They just destroyed the entire flow of the game. But still, it's been remade 20 times. They just brought out 4, which was fun, but once again was remade a half dozen times.
Yeah.
Next, they're going to bring out Resident Evil 5, which has been remade a couple times. And Resident Evil 6, which has been remade a couple times. And by then, they'll get the 7, which they'll remake again.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time they get back up to 8, they'll go and remake 1 again.
So, PS9.
What? On the PS9. On the PS9 and the quadruple Xbox.
The triple Xbox where you can only get porn on it.
Yeah, the Resident Evil Porno Edition. And Sega Saturn will be out again because they'll remake the Sega system and
One thing that I don't understand.
One thing? Okay.
They came out with Mortal Kombat 11.
And now they're going to make out Mortal Kombat 1. Yes, I know, man. We had this conversation. It's weird. But it seems to be happening everywhere.
It just makes no sense.
Yeah, how many Street Fighter 6s have we had?
No, see, you have to understand that those were Plus Ultra Instinct. Those weren't 6. It went Street Fighter, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2, Alpha Turbo, Awesome Omega, Super Supreme, Commander, Arcade, the 4th edition, 9th Feeling, 3rd, and then they made number 4. But they skipped 3. So then they went back and made 3.
If Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge did Street Fighter 2, it would be the Street Fighter 2 Super Special Awesome Edition.
Right. And then they made 5, which was actually a pretty good game if you ignore some of the newer characters, which just make me cry. And then they made 6, in which Chun-Li looks amazing. Cammy looks amazing. Ryu looks like he hit 10 miles of dead road. Ken looks like he hit 10 miles of bad road. There's just something wrong with how Honda's moving. Blanca still looks like he's amazed. He still looks like he's like 12. I don't know how Blanca's hair gets even bigger every time. But right now, you have to fight through the hair in the first stage, and then you fight in the second stage. Because I swear that hair gets more and more. But then they removed some of my favorite characters, like the greased up oil Greek wrestler guy, who literally fights you by taking a can of grease, cooking grease, and dumps it over his entire body, and then slides around like he's on a freaking slip and slide, and grabs you and like squeezes you and launches you into the air and crap like that. It's spooky. But the one thing that has never changed is Zangief is still a freaking beast. And he's just as cheap in 6 as he was back in 1. That is the one thing they have never changed. Zangief is still the cheapest fighter in the game. Command grab, followed by command grab, followed by command grab, followed by another command grab. The enemy's dead. Command grab their corpse to the ground. But yes, I fully agree. They now have Street Fighter 6. And after Street Fighter 6 will be Street Fighter 1. Because it just seems to be how they do it. I thought the Mortal Kombat were starting to get badass. We had Kruger, we had the Alien, we had the Predator, we had RoboCop and Terminator all fighting. It's like, how? But where's My Hero Academia when we need it? You know, let's throw an anime in here too. Nope. And now they took the original characters and slapped them into a new game. It's the original. It's reset, retconned. It's back to the original. With temporary fighters now. There'll be guest fighters that'll only be around for a few weeks, and then they'll switch them out. What? I'm sorry, Mortal Kombat. I misheard you. What was that part? And when we get DLCs, you'll get your characters, but you can also get amazing new clothes for them. I'm sorry, I'm a little hard of hearing. What? And to make it all the best, we've completely retconned it so Johnny Cage and all those other characters who had children no longer have children anymore. Wait, what? That was an important part of the storyline. Like Johnny Cage kicked Shinrock's ass, and then his daughter killed Shinrock. Like, what's going on here? And Scorpion and Sub-Zero hate each other again. But why? They forgave each other. Cabal and Kano aren't friends anymore. What is going on?
They hate each other because reasons.
Because reason. Well, Sub-Zero killed Scorpion's wife, and then killed Scorpion, so Scorpion came back as a wraith to kill him. Yes, we all remember the original storyline. It's back. Why is it back?
It's about as bad as the new Mortal Kombat movie they came out with.
They came out with another Mortal Kombat movie? When?
Yeah. I think it was supposed to be Scorpion's son becomes Scorpion and
No, are you talking about the one about Sub-Zero?
Yeah.
Yeah. That like a few years ago, like 3 or 4.
That was a travesty.
So let's talk about a game that I think needs a remake.
Mighty Number 9?
No! That game doesn't exist. I didn't spend $8 million on that damn game. Anyway, stop laughing. So back in the day, during the whole console wars things, where everybody had to have their own fighting characters, there was 2 games that came out that have just simply disappeared. Well, actually, they didn't disappear. They took both games and combined them into one game. So the games were Battle Arena Toshiden, which was a game about people with weapons that would beat the shit out of each other, and Virtual Fighter, a game where people would beat the shit out of each other. And along the ways, these 2 games, which were pretty impressive at the time, you literally had a guy with a club that would go, "Ubba Super Club," and start swinging his club at you. Like, it was great. It was funny stuff. You had a kangaroo with boxing gloves. You had a little T-Rex that breathed fire and farted fireballs. Like, you had all kinds of cool stuff. And every type of bear you can imagine was in the game as some kind of fighter.
Except the Mama Bear.
Except Mama Bear, because they can't have broken characters. You can't fight the Chonkla. It's unblockable. It hits. She can spam it. It's over. It's over. She just puts it in the corner.
When you mentioned fighting games, I thought you were in console wars. I thought you were going to talk about Tekken and Soul Calibur.
Well, no, because Virtual Fighter became Tekken. And Battle Arena Toshiden became Soul Calibur.
Gotcha.
But the characters from both games are still their own characters. So why not make a new Battle Arena Toshiden and a brand new Virtual Fighter game? It's been over 20 years since we got any of them. They're up for grabs. Brand new games they could take. 20 years, no one's played them. With their own original cast of characters. Own original weapons. They could make $1 million off of it. Nothing. Not a thing. How long's it been since a good Secret of Mana game? When are we getting that sequel to Mario RPG? Or any of the frickin' Paper Marios?
When they gonna remake Need for Speed Underground 1 or 2, or make Underground 3?
Nick, I'm apologizing ahead of time for what I'm about to say, but Need for Speed 6 is coming out this year, and they've made it like 12 years in the future where the cars don't use gas anymore. It's all electrics. It's all electrics.
Who makes Need for Speed?
I believe Bonsai makes it.
Well, don't expect anything to be released by them anymore.
You're missing out, man. It's so much fun when you shift gears, because there's no gears, so you can't shift. And the car sounds like a little electric mower going off. You know what? Mario Kart carts sound more manly than these things.
Yeah,
a go-kart is more powerful.
I said they should be shot on the spot.
But you want to know, like, I know that Hollywood is out of ideas, and I know the video game industry is pretty much kicking up sand right now, but I can think of video games and animes and all kinds of ideas that went. Here's one for you. Here's a classic idea. I have an idea that will revolutionize the world. It's a remake of a children's cartoon, and I'm going to make it live action. And it's going to star The Rock himself, and it's going to have Vin Diesel in it. And what it's going to be is going to be a remake of the original series, Johnny Bravo. Vin Diesel is going to play Carl and is going to be considered the weak one, even though he's going to be big and muscled. And all the girls are going to ignore him, and he's always going to look sad, like, nobody loves me. But rather than making a brand new movie, my idea is simple. I make it 2 hours long, just like a movie would be. However, we take the original cartoons and we verbatim them into live action.
Nice.
Johnny Bravo is The Rock. I think it would work.
Yeah.
You want to know a video game? How about a procedurally generated RPG where you create your own character and your own class, and as you accomplish things, an AI inside the game decides what kind of areas you should go into. That way, you can never look up anything. The game will always be original, and we do have technology that can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I call it WTF the RPG. How about a new Dance Dance Revolution game, where you also have to have bars where you in your hands so you can dance by shaking your hands as well?
Interesting.
Suddenly, the electric slide becomes a lot more dangerous, and a lot more fun. How about a game where
Now,
you
slide to the right. Now,
Wait,
slide to the
wait,
left.
they already have something like that. It's called Just Dance.
No, I mean, I said a good game. I said a good game. I said DDR. I didn't say rip off DDR. I didn't say Nintendo made this. No.
Nintendo actually did something right for the first time in their company.
What'd they do? Fire everybody and make a new series of people?
No, they made a new game for the Switch.
What game's that?
I shared it in general.
I can't see it, Neko. You go look it up for me, please. That being said, should I also mention the fact of all the hentai video games that Nintendo's made? Go ahead and look on the Switch webpage. Oh my goodness, they're terrifying.
Huh. Game Silent Bob Mall Brawl for the Nintendo Switch.
Okay.
It's a 2D game, side scroller, featuring James and Bob.
Ah, very fun, very fun. How about a game where you're fighting for survival against zombies in a city? However, at random intervals, the zombies begin to mutate into random things. And your job is to solve several random puzzles to get out of the city. Evolutions can be things like them suddenly being able to crawl up walls after you, spitting ranged attacks, wings, extra arms, just to make them harder and harder to run from every time.
Yeah.
That's intriguing. Hey, Kyle.
Hey, Lionel.
Got a question for you.
Got an answer for
I
you.
think it was a year or two ago. I saw a game, and I don't think it ever came out yet, but it was supposed to be like a
It's
survival.
coming out in August. It's called Armored Core 6.
Not that game. It was a survival zombie with PvP aspects to it.
Okay.
You remember anything about any game like that?
Not at all.
Huh.
What are you doing? What's going on? What?
You tickled me.
I did no such thing.
Sounds similar to a game that we have that is out called 7 Days to
I was
Die.
pointing at your arm and said that there's something on it.
No, because there is no PvP factor to it.
Yes, there. Ow, ow, ow!
I thought there was that you can.
There is a PvP factor in 7 Days to Die. You can blow people's brains out if you feel like it.
Well, if you turn,
I'm still waiting for the day that he does it. I'm still waiting for the day that he does it. I'm waiting for the day that I go in and he just looks at me and like with the gun and he just like shakes the gun back and forth and I'm just going.
That's nothing.
Just gonna walk away. The death guy's gonna walk in and say, "Okay, that's weird. Thank you though." And then Death Gasm's gonna walk in, and Necro is just gonna light him up like the 4th of July. Just gun him down. Just open fire on him with everything he's got.
speaking of, we have a full Deathgasm box, so God only knows if you play anything anywhere else.
Oh dear Lord. Anyway,
But you were saying he's gonna light Deathgasm up at the 4th of July.
and then he's gonna close the server real quick, turn PvP off, and jump back in. Oh, I'm waiting. I am waiting for the day. I'm waiting for the day that Deathgasm says and or does something so horrible that Necro decides it's today. He says, Deathgasm, walk over here. He opens up the door. Deathgasm walks into a room. He closes the door because he built the door and locks it. And all the turrets he built just turn on Deathgasm and just gun him down.
Necro, the day that you do that, you have my permission to use one of my holes. You have my permission to use one of the jugger holes.
Any of the jugger
You know what? I'll make a very fitable little situation then. I will invite him into the jugger hole that you built underneath of his tower.
Just be careful. But yeah, you can do that.
Just for pure irony.
There's nothing going on in that hole, by the way. Nothing's happening in that hole.
Bullshit.
No reason for anyone to go into that hole.
Bullshit.
Yes, they do.
And I can see K-Man just walking by. What is that noise? Don't worry about it, K-Man. Necro and Deathgasm have to sort something out.
He just guns them down. Just guns them down. And when DG tries to get back on, Necro's going to just leave the server and start up the new server with the PvP turned off again. And when Deathgasm comes around that corner and starts shooting at Necro and doesn't do anything, he's going to lose his fucking mind. And on that day,
the thing is, we can say something like this because Deathgasm doesn't watch our videos.
Well, he might watch.
No, he doesn't.
All I'm saying is, hello, Cody. All I'm saying is, out of all of us, Necro is the only one who has the power to do so. He's the only one. That's it. But if Necro decides one day that he's going to turn PvP on, and Deathgasm spawns, and Necro says, I need to talk to you outside real quick, and he does, and Necro guns his ass down. Just unloads a clip of armor-piercing rounds right through his spinal column and kills him. And then Necro quits out of the game real quick. And we're all thrown out of it, and when we get back in, PvP's off. And all you have is a very angry, very pissed off Deathgasm, who is trying his hardest to kill Necro and can't. And that will be it. That will be the day that Deathgasm just sees nothing but red, and Necro does nothing but laugh. 2 whole hours of just Deathgasm trying everything he can to kill Necro, and Necro just laughing.
The Zany Adventures of Deathgasm and Necro.
Starring Necro, Kaiju, Juggernaut, and Deathgasm. Starring K-Mod. Or featuring K-Mod. Maybe. Possibly. He might not be on. Question mark.
But I could see it. Or one of these days, Necro's just going to lose, just going to have a really bad day at work, not care who he tries to kill.
I think he's going to gun us down because none of us are going to believe it. He can kill. I figure if Necro has enough time, he could probably kill off 2 of us before the third realizes what's going on.
Probably.
But at which point, the third has 2 problems. One, I doubt that Necro will be sending his coordinates.
No.
And 2, Deathgasm, and 2, Necro will make sure he knows where the third is. These are things you need to remember. Necro is an angry, evil SOB when he wants to be. And should he decide that today's the day that hell is about to hit the earth, he will come for them.
But the question that I'm wondering is, who's number 1, 2, and 3 on this list?
Oh, we already know who's number 1. Let's not play with that.
But who would be second on this list?
That depends on the day. It could be
the guy with
the
steel armor, or the guy who's the ghillie suit on.
Steel armor means nothing to armor piercing.
Yeah.
It depends. How many screamers has he had to kill in the past few episodes to save Juggernaut's life?
Yeah.
How Who
Who
also
has
sugar
the
holes in
one
their
rock?
ground? How about K-Mod and his entire collection of items that he leaves outside the base?
In his own box.
In his own box,
Yeah.
rather than sharing with the rest of the party. How about Kaiju K, the guy who just sits around and builds new death traps and hopes they work? Actually, I might be on the bottom of the list if I'm lucky. If I'm lucky, I may be on the bottom of the list for once.
Honestly, it bothers the hell out of me with K-Man. It's like, dude, we have these boxes for a fucking reason.
And we have extra boxes for that extra reason, too.
Granted, yeah, I may joke around with the whole Necro Boxer Rock thing.
Oh, well, he's not joking around, but he also knows that he spends half his time killing the next Screamer because Juggernaut's currently augering underground. In fact, that time where you were augering and I was digging, they kept coming out of the woodwork so much, all I heard Necro was going, shit, what the hell, who the, because they were everywhere. Because there were two people digging in the same area causing the heat to go up. He was furious at that point in time.
I was like, God damn, it's like every fucking minute there's a fucking Screamer.
But
I'm just
Necro.
trying to go on my fucking inventory here.
But Necro,
Hit that elf bar.
I got a lot of iron for it.
Hit that elf bar. Contaminated elf says. Or contaminated.
But the thing is, Kyle needs the iron, not me.
But then you also look at the one thing, the constant thing that I believe gets said more than anything else. Ah! Juggerhole.
By everyone.
I think that everyone has fallen into a Juggerhole several times. I fell into one 6 times the last episode. And that was out counting, and that's not counting the one I fell into purposely for no reason. There's no reason to come up with.
I'm waiting for Necro's vehicle to get stuck in a Juggerhole.
It could happen. And then
So Kyle, is that going to be our new base?
I do not know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do.
However, on a completely, and I mean completely different note, I would like to ask if you could build a couple of spike traps, the ones that shoot the darts, and a few turrets.
Okay.
For no real reason whatsoever, just a few of them.
Is that going to be our new base?
It's possible.
I like it.
I hit bedrock.
You hit bedrock.
It's that deep. It's that deep. I hit bedrock. It's that deep.
Yeah.
Kyle, you remember, there was a guy with a gun the back of your head.
Listen, that was at the beginning of the tunnel. You have not been in since. You have
I
not
know.
You have not seen the
But
elite.
I know what you were doing down there.
Well, I'm just sitting there, and I'm just digging, Juggernaut. I'm just digging. You know, I got my stone axe, just digging, and there's just this light on me. And I slowly turn around, and there with a freaking shotgun, I believe it was, fully loaded, is just looking at me. Just Necro with a gun pointed at me like, you see nothing. And he just like turns around and slowly walks away from me.
I see nothing.
And I don't know if he actually thought like I see nothing or if he was just gonna come back later. But at that point I'm like, dig faster, and I have created a labyrinth that goes really deep down.
So do you think I would be able to connect that one hole to the other one?
I'm not gonna say no. Because if I do, you'll prove me wrong.
Do you think it would be a good idea if I did?
You see,
This way, I mean, it's just one of those escape things.
There's a slight problem with that. I mean, it could be a good idea. It would give us a way out. But it's basically going to be me leading everyone down into a massive shelter. And there's one way in and one way out.
Okay.
However, if it starts going real, Juggernaut, if they start breaking through, it might not be a bad idea for you to drop the fire rate and start picking up the auger rate.
Mm-hmm.
Just turn around and begin digging a hole, and we'll run for our lives. Start digging a hole up, and we'll follow after you. But my original idea was to test it. I was going to test it by having you guys fight on the multi-tower.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to hide in the hole and see how well I did.
That kind of went south when the zombies destroyed the multi-tower.
No. The multi-tower is the one that has the 4 ladders to get to the massive one. You have to climb up one set of ladders, then climb down one, and then climb up another, and then climb down one, then climb up another one, climb down one, climb up another one, and then you're at the top.
Okay.
But now that you guys know about it, you guys could join me in it if you wanted. There's going to be a lot of fallback. Lots of traps. Lots of spikes. It's going to be hell. Worst case scenario, they dig in after us and we're doomed.
But I thought you said you hit bedrock.
I hit bedrock on the bottom. The bedrock is only on the bottom. I plan on surrounding it with 8 layers of steel blocks, which is why I asked Juggernaut to get all the metal for me. I'm going to make 8 levels of steel blocks in every direction.
I'll go back in that hole and dig that iron up again if you want.
That's fine, man. I'm okay with that. The basic idea is I'm going to build 1 set of blocks, and then I'm going to start digging outward. I'm going to go 4 in one direction and 4 in the other, and I'm going to go up, and I'm just going to create a giant steel box. And I'm going to make another box around that, and so on and so forth, so we have a bunch of repair bar. So I'm kind of force them to come through the tunnel if they can. Because according to the... Cody, please do not jump on Mommy. Please do not cut on Mommy. Please do not... No, I do not want to kiss you. No, I don't want stinky breath either. It kicks like freaking Hitmonlee. Whew! Oh my!
Oh
That's
my.
a tail. That's a tail. That's nothing else. That's a tail.
Oh my!
Oh, please tell me that's a tail.
Tail.
Stop crying at Mommy because Mommy has cheese. Have you paid the cheese tax?
I did not pay the cheese tax.
Cheese tax. The cheese tax.
What is the cheese tax?
It's a song you can find on YouTube, which is about puppy dogs chasing after people who have cheese.
Oh goodness! Ooh, pipe bomb!
Ooh, pipe bomb! I found I was making a ticking noise. It's a pipe bomb. What? But getting back to the whole idea of remakes and that kind of stuff, like Hollywood itself should not be able to run out of ideas. Really, like. You're telling me that there aren't people pitching random stories? No, what's going on is Hollywood is just trying to find the best way to make money. They don't want an original story. Do you know how many people go to Hollywood every year to pitch their stories to hopefully succeed, and instead they just fail at it? I heard like 1 out of every 1,200 stories that are written by somebody are actually thought of to be a movie. And then from there, it's either they buy out the rights and they change the movie, or they just take the rights so nobody else can make the movie.
Mm-hmm.
What a horrible way to make money. I'm personally waiting for them to remake freaking Friday the 13th. Actually, you know what I want to see? I want to see a TV series animated about the lives of the people from the horror movies if they were good people in real life. You know, Jason has a job at Camp Crystal Lake. His mother's a really buff lady. You know, he hangs out with Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger's like a teacher or something. You know, that sounds fun.
Been done. It's been done.
No, well, there has been a comic book about it, but there hasn't been a series yet. I'm waiting for the series. I also think that Game of Thrones would be a lot more entertaining if it was done animated, because you can do a lot more with animation than you can do with anything else. By the way, whoever Bethany Coldshore is currently getting the shit kicked out of them. Oh. Mother just got the shit kicked out of her. And I go back. I did see one where Jason and Freddy were anthropomorphic animals and gay lovers. I saw a comic about that, where Freddy got pregnant somehow and gave birth to a kid. Or was it 2 kids? I can't remember. It was a weird comic book series. How about jeez, damn it! Ow!
The Juggernaut, look how I shared in general.
Just on his tiptoes on my. How about this? A new comic book movie featuring the Super Trotters. Does anyone remember the TV show?
Yes.
Where Curly Joe became an actual basketball and they had like stretchy arms, that kind of stuff? There's an idea.
Yeah.
It's a group of crime fighters fighting other criminals, and they play basketball. There's originality right there.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny.
How about Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo 2, where Scrappy is not an unwanted character, where he's actually a decent character?
That'd be interesting.
How about live action Captain Planet? With how everyone is against global warming nowadays, that'd be an amazing movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How about a remake of the Aliens movie? However, replace the aliens with Ewoks. Imagine how terrifying it would be. Someone crawling down a hallway. It's like turning around and then there's just, eat your woman! And it just jumps out and grabs him. Grabs onto him. He's like, no, get it off me, get it off me. It's like a giant teddy bear stuck to his face. Okay, that one might be a little less. What about my idea for the movie Suddenly Ninjas? It's a spy thriller with comedy, and every now and then it breaks away to some getaway gag, some little sight gag, where like maybe there's some guy selling hot dogs, and the one kid orders them, and suddenly instead of an ice cream cone coming out or something, a ninja stands up and attacks the kid. And it's like suddenly ninjas, and then it goes back to the TV show. It's just nothing but sight gags where like somebody's walking through a room and you might notice something the first time, and then you watch it the second time you might notice something else. You know, kind of like Airplane was. How about? I think this would be a great idea. I don't think a lot of people would think it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea. We take America's Next Cooking Champion. Okay? Go with me on this one. You'll like this. You'll like this, okay? But instead of it being a cooking champion, okay? We make it a superhero competition. People are allowed to bring their own gadgets and everything and have to fight off several ideas, like saving people from a burning building, etc., and how they would do it, based on time, ingenuity, and style. And the winner gets money.
Interesting.
How about we get Supermarket Sweep back, and this time when people actually get on it, they're people who are in need of food, and even the losers leave with the food they've gathered.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great. I think we get donations. How about we also, while we're on top of it, we can go get, was it Mall Madness, I think it was? Where we let a bunch of people who are hard on luck have a chance to run through a mall and grab a pair of freaking Nikes or something.
Right?
The winner gets a car. How about America's Cooking Championship? However, they have to make enough money or enough food to feed a family that's in need of food. And then the family votes on how good their food was and how bad it was. He's speechless. Necro's got nothing to say about it. He thought it was a great idea.
I'm terrified.
You're at TMOG.
I mean, we can't hear him. He still thinks we can hear him right now, but I can't hear him. But I will say that I think he's speechless at the idea.
Wow, when the hell did he change backgrounds? I mean, that has to be a virtual background.
Well, he was on his phone originally. He still thinks we can hear him.
Yeah.
We can't, Necro, we cannot hear you. We cannot hear you. I don't know if you can hear us. If you can, hold up a finger or something.
Can you hear us?
Okay, he can hear, we can't hear you. I don't know why not. I'm reading your lips. Yes, I'm reading your lips. I cannot hear you. No, Mama Bear, we cannot hear you. You're not there. You were on the phone talking perfectly normal to us. Then you hopped on your computer and suddenly it's over. We can't hear shite.
Is his phone still connected?
Is your phone still connected?
That could be an issue.
Okay, no, it's not. Okay. Try stepping out of Discord and coming back in again. I'm reading his lips. It's what I've learned to do. Necro. No. I don't know why.
I can hear him.
Can you?
Yeah.
It might
Can
be
you hear me?
It might be me. It might be me.
Right.
One second. I'm gonna step out and come back in. It could be me. I could. It has been me before.
Hey, Kyle, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Damn it, Mama Bear! I was gonna try and play him off with it for a second. Damn it. Of course,
Yeah.
Mama Bear ruins
You!
it.
It was you, not me!
Dude, it's happened before, okay?
I know.
It's when I realized that Juggernaut could hear you and I couldn't. It's like, oh crap, it's me. I just had to jump off for a second.
And now he's all Godzilla movie.
Who, me?
You were Godzilla movie before, were your Remasters movie, and then the sound came later.
Yeah, like a moment later.
Listen, because I'm Asian, that's what it is, huh? It's because I'm Asian.
No.
Juggernaut. Anyway, down in the Wayville. That's Chinese, you a-hole. You racist bastard.
I'm at for
Did
the
you?
goods.
Listen, one of my friends sent me Chinese the other day and said, hey, can you translate this for me? I said, dude, I am not that type. He goes, I thought they were all the same.
Wow.
You call me insensitive.
First of all, I'm not going to tell you this person's name because guess what? Both you and Juggernaut know this person. So I'm not going to tell you who it was because you guys will not let loose on it. Now that we're all back and talking again.
You can tell us. We won't do anything.
Listen, Necro, we're still streaming.
Yeah, let's get a few here. So anyways, other things that
Did you know at one point they wanted George A. Romero to do a version of Resident Evil?
I would like that. I would like to see Romero do Resident Evil.
Is Romero still alive?
Yeah.
No.
No? Romero's not alive?
No.
When did he die? I could have sworn Romero was still alive.
I'm pretty sure that's why they had him in the zombies in one of the Call of Duties because he was dead.
He died in 2017 in Toronto.
Damn. Well, if you want to talk about it, they also had a very specific comic book artist as a dead zombie in that game too before he was dead. So let's not talk about that.
Maybe they foresee the future.
Oh man, don't let them put any of us into the games. We'll all die. You're a very angry puppy. So I mean, like, there are lots of ideas I think that would make really cool stuff. How about a game where everyone else around you can cast magic except for yourself, so you make up for it by learning alchemy? It could still be an RPG where your friends cast spells and everything, but you have to mix together like grenades and potions and things like that to have the same effect.
Yeah.
Or how about a game where you get isekai'd into another game? And now you have all this unbelievable power, and you have to use it to try to live with normal folk without them realizing how strong you actually are.
I don't think I can do it.
Yeah, it's a challenge, ain't it?
Yeah.
How about a video game where you have a puppy dog who's trying to steal cheese from your owner? We could call it the cheese tax. The cheese tax. We could have Monitor play as the owner. And Cody will be the playable character.
I like it.
See? I mean, listen, if they can make a game based off of Skittles that's actually cool, like, what is the odds that you can't do it anymore? And in case you're wondering, Skittles, the game was about you trying to collect Skittles, and when you collected a different color, you got a different spell. And it wasn't it wasn't half-assed. It was a really good game, sort of like Dink Smallwood. Has anyone ever heard of a game that makes you not want to play it more than Dink Smallwood? Imagine a Diablo-like game where your character is the wussiest thing on the planet, is a smartass. It's basically Necro. Imagine a Diablo game where you're playing as Necro.
Okay.
Except your name is Dink Smallwood.
I mean, I'd still play it.
And that happens to be one of the centralized themes about it. You save somebody, and then they see the size of your dagger, if you would, and they laugh at you and walk away. And then you eventually become evil and destroy the world. I'm not even joking about that last part. You destroy the world. You get so mad that you destroy the world.
That would be Necro.
How about a Jurassic Park game where it's up to you to design an entire island? However, instead of the regular dinosaurs, you have hybrids. You can't create the regular dinosaurs. You have to hybrid dinosaurs together and hope that you picking the right ones will allow them to exist in nature. Like, you couldn't, say, fuse a Compy with a Triceratops. Or what about a game where you're playing as a gardener, except that you're creating evil plants? Venus man traps and things like that. I mean, they're making an anime that it just came out today. I haven't seen it yet. It's just coming out today. Where it's called My Life as a Vending Machine. It's an anime about a guy who dies and is resurrected in a brand new magical world as a living, talking vending machine. And I thought a living sword, farming, and being a slime would be considered weird. No. I'm waiting for My Life as a Pair of Panties. I'm waiting for My Life as a Sanitary Aid.
The My Life series.
The My Life as, and then just enter weird object. Speaking of things that I believe require a retcon, I cannot remember the exact name of the anime. I just watched it recently. Basically, it's about these gentlemen who go to these brothels full of different monsters, and they rate them. Now, I can't remember what the anime is, but there was something... Okay, seeing them going around and bouncing around women's tits and everything like that, yeah, that's cool, that's amazing, that's wonderful. But the thing that bothers me the most about the anime is something that's so simple that I think everyone else ignored it. Something reviewers. And what it is the two main characters, there's an elf and there's a human. And they meet an angel which has a broken halo. Now, that in itself isn't so weird. However, the two adventurers, the human and the elf, are very well respected, very well liked, and feared by people. Like, people are afraid of them for their power. And they hint at it throughout the entire series. They hint at how strong these guys are. You never actually get to see it, but you get to see it kind of in the first episode, but that's kind of it. And what's really interesting is, I want to know about them. What did they do, first of all, to make so much money that they could just go to brothels constantly, things, and then review them? That's the first part.
True.
Second of all, why people are calling them sir and master and everything like that, and not just in the sexual ways. And the thing is, like, the series is done. Like, they're not making it anymore. They've already announced that the series is over. And I'm sitting there going, but what is it with those characters? I want to know about them. Forget the big-breasted cowgirl they just had sex with. I want to know about them. How are they so strong that they can drop a monster like this? In the first episode, the angel's hurt, and these two come out of nowhere and just break this thing. Like, they don't even give it a second thought. They destroy this monster. And it's just a giant monster, and they literally just go right through it while they're having a pleasant conversation with each other. Like, that's how strong they are. And, like, everyone in the tavern, everyone in town knows them. Everyone respects them. Everyone fears them. They're asked to come back to the castle. They're asked to compete in tournaments and things like that. But you never learn about their background. And I know it's a stupid thing for me to be bringing up. And I know it's a stupid thing for me to wish for. But what were they? What did they do that made them so freaking strong and dangerous and scary? And I'll never find out what it is. Sort of like waiting for the next series of Hunter x Hunter to come out. It's been 10 years, I think. But the anime, the manga is still going. Like, it left off with they left the series off, and the manga kept going. And it just keeps going and going and going and going. It's kind of like One Piece, but not as good. However, they never made a part 2. They never made anything. And it just bothers me, you know? Where are the remakes of the things we want to see remakes for versus why are we getting remakes for things we don't want to see? How many seasons of Attack on Titan did we have that all sucked?
Everyone.
Yeah.
Where's my Demon Lord Academy? Where's My Life as a Second-Hand Character? By the way, great anime if you get the chance to see it. It's about a guy that gets pulled into a love harem video game, but he just wants to play on the sidelines. He just wants to be a regular person. And he keeps getting pulled into the adventure. Like, he keeps getting pulled in, and all he wants to do is just be left the fuck alone. But no one will just let him live his life. He's just a secondary character. He's like, one of these days I'm going to say or do something that's going to get me killed, and he's always getting out of it. We could see so much good stuff, and instead all we get is the same crap. How many...
The businessman.
Yeah. Don't get me started with that. They made an anime about a guy who worked himself to death, which, by the way, is a common thing that happens in Asian cultures. People will literally work themselves to death. That's pretty bad, okay? Guy goes, works himself to death. Sneezes 3 times and kills himself. He dies by sneezing. It gives him an aneurysm and he dies, okay?
Damn.
He wants to be left alone. He wants to be a regular guy. So God's like, okay, I'll give you'll be reborn in an 8-year-old boy's body in this new world. I'll give you some magic, and that's it. I'll make you an average person. And where the God messes up is he makes him an average person. He's average between a slime on the ground and the greatest dragons in the sky. He's average. And because humans are so far down on the list, he is so much stronger than them. Yeah, bots down? Alright, I'll try to fix that later. Yeah, that sucks. But yeah, and it's just like, why aren't we getting remakes of these? Why aren't we getting better of these? Why aren't we getting these? And it comes to the fact it's like, oh well, they didn't do as well. No, they did. The mangas did amazing, but the series doesn't.
See, that's the problem.
And that's the problem.
Nobody wants to read the mangas to make things properly.
That's correct. Thank you, honey. You are correct. No one wants to read the manga.
I'll give you an example. Look at Game of Thrones, the final season.
Do I have to?
No, I'm just saying. The seasons that all the fans hated. Oh, remake the final season of Game of Thrones. Do that. You stayed close to the source material.
Yeah?
And the fans didn't like it.
Okay.
It's like you're basing your stuff off the source material and you still don't like it. You're not real fans. Unless you've really read the books and seen the TV show. And with that in mind, knowing about them following the source material, you're not going to have a problem with it. It's just like people with The Walking Dead.
Okay.
How many people have read the Walking Dead comics, the Walking Dead graphic novel, to truly understand where they were going with the TV series?
But to be honest with you, I fell off the TV series way
right, because the graphic novels are way better.
Yep.
How many people hated the fact that they turned Jane Foster into Thor?
But yet that is canon.
That is canon.
It is, yes.
So it's like, why are they all getting butthurt?
Well, that's because they don't want it to be canon. Because to them, Thor is this gorgeous-looking hunk of meat over here, and not this somewhat attractive young woman. And no offense to the actress who plays her. She's cute, but she's
no Chris Hemsworth.
No, she's no Chris Hemsworth. She is not.
Listen, I would love to be sandwiched between both of them.
Yeah, but who do you be paying more attention to?
Oh, I mean,
go on, answer, nigga.
He would be behind me, she'd be in front of me. So
I did not say that. I said, who would you pay more attention to?
Oh, he'd be paying attention to the hole he was in. I'd be paying attention to the girl.
That's not what I asked at all, and you know it.
But
who is more attractive in your eyes, Chris Hemsworth or her?
Chris Hemsworth.
That's what I thought.
But you have people who, I remember reading the old comics, the old school comics. With the Avengers, you had, Captain America, the first Avenger. Was he really?
No.
Technically, no.
Because Wolverine exists before him, and he was an Avenger as well.
Yeah, but he wasn't the first Avenger.
But technically, Wolverine was the first person around, and he was an Avenger eventually.
Eventually, later on, yes. Hell, I'm confused a lot by the current writers of Marvel and DC comics trying to retcon everything and pretty much tell an origin story that makes absolutely no sense.
Right, the MCU's dead. Literally, it's dead. Because
so is the DCEU, considering how much money they put toward Black Adam Shazam 2.
Okay, let's not talk about Black Adam, alright?
Black Adam, here's the thing. That could have been an amazing movie if they would have had one character, Shazam.
Yes.
He does show up at the end, but by the time he shows up, it's already over.
Yeah.
No, Shazam never shows up. Superman does.
Huh.
Because at the end credits, that's when Superman comes up. Shazam was never, he was mentioned, because that's what Black Adam had to say to transform in and out, being Black Adam.
Okay.
But at the end of the movie, Superman shows up.
Okay. I can't really remember it much. I do remember that it was.
I just watched it like a week ago, so that's why it's
so that's why. Okay.
But I mean, you look at comic book writers and movie studio execs. Movie studio execs are now just, hey, let's throw something against the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah.
And if nothing sticks, let's reboot a movie that was popular 20 years ago.
Right.
But what I was saying about the whole MCU being dead, yeah, the DC universe is being dead because of money issues, not because of lack of story. Where are they gonna go with the MCU now? You already fucking did Infinity Wars, which is their biggest arc in comics.
Well, you also look at it. You banked all your money on an actor who is now facing charges.
Not only that, but a lot of the actors don't want to continue either.
Yeah.
And one actor died.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
I'm just saying the whole multiverse saga with Kang, they put all their money on this one actor who is now facing charges that they may have to recast.
And nobody likes to be recasted.
Right.
I mean, come on, who's excited for any upcoming MCU movies? I'm only excited for one.
Which one?
Deadpool.
Can you consider Deadpool MCU?
It's MCU is with Sony as the actual. So
Listen, I'm just saying that putting Deadpool on the plate and saying, hey, I can't wait for the Deadpool movie is identical to saying, hey, I can't wait for DC to bring out the Punisher movie. Because it's part of the DC universe. Because the Punisher is nothing like the DC universe.
Punisher's Marvel.
Yeah, Punisher's Marvel, man.
No, it isn't.
Yes,
it is.
No, it isn't.
Yes,
Punisher's Marvel, just like Daredevil. Punisher and Daredevil have been in the same comics.
Okay, so then there was a crossover I saw. I'm sorry. I must have saw a crossover. I saw Batman versus Daredevil, and I read the comic, so...
It would be like them making a Deathstroke movie.
I don't see why that'd be a problem.
Maybe Deathstroke was in the DC. Yeah.
Yes. Deathstroke's the Terminator.
Deathstroke, the supposed DC alternative Deadpool.
Yeah.
No. Jared,
I said supposedly.
No. Deathstroke came first.
Yeah.
Right.
So it would be the other way around. Deadpool.
You know what I'm saying.
Listen, I'm a comic book geek. I can't let it fly. I'm sorry. I have to correct you. I can't let that one fly. Deathstroke came first. Just like Wolverine came first, too. Deadpool came afterwards. He has Deathstroke's costume, and he's got Wolverine's powers. It's what he is.
I mean, it's just like saying Transformers came out when they really didn't.
And you forgot his other power, Kyle.
You mean common sense?
He has the sarcasticness of Nick.
No, that's just natural for him. He came before you. Sorry, buddy. You have his sarcasticness. He has the power of common sense, which is a power I share with him.
Yeah.
For those of you at home that don't know, common sense has become so rare nowadays. It is an actual superpower, and I possess it.
And it's not common.
It's not common anymore either. In fact, it's rare sense right nowadays.
Common sense is...
I'd be a great member to any of the Justice Leagues or the Marvel League or anything like that. I'd be a wonderful member to any of them. Who are you? I'm Kaiju K. What's your power? Common sense. You're hired. All right.
Common sense has left the chat.
What?
Common sense has left the chat.
Not yet. It hasn't. I'm still standing. It's like, hey, let's make another Batman movie. How about we don't? Well, why not? Because it's the same every time. Jack Nicholson and frickin' Luke Skywalker played the Joker the best. That's it. And Luke Skywalker played him. Sorry, Mark Hamill. I forget that sometimes. Mark Hamill played him in the animated series. And let me ask you something. Was anyone else, is there ever a moment where the Joker's really been any more terrifying than he was in the animated series?
No.
That is spooky scary right there. All right?
Yeah.
Just saying. Just saying.
But you know what else Mark Hamill played really good in?
What?
Being Cockknocker and Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back.
Yeah. I also believe, I could be wrong about this. I'm actually going to look this one up real quick. Give me a second. I'll look this one up. But I believe, roles. Okay, I believe that Mark Hamill was actually, believe it or not, I actually believe Mark Hamill was in The Little Mermaid, the original, the animated series. Let's see here. These are, let's see here, let's see, videos. I need his filmography. Where's his filmography?
IMDb.
IMDb? Okay, hang on a second. Filmography. Mark Hamill. Okay, I need his filmography. Trademark. Quotes. Sound. What?
He played Zeus in The Little Mermaid.
Did he?
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Sebastian's arch rival.
Okay, let's see here. He played Luke Skywalker in 1977. Sorry to be geeky for a second here. He was in Corvette Summer, Empire Strikes Back, The Big Red One, The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia. Never heard of that. Return of the Jedi. Britannia Hospital. Fall of the Eagles, Midnight Rider. He was the Guyver. He was Mark Reed from the Guyver. Black Magic Women. Sleepwalkers. He was Sheriff Jenkins. Time Runner, Silk, The Raffle, Village of the Damned, Reverend George, Laserhawk, Hamilton, Watchers Reborn, Walking Across Egypt, Thank You and Good Night, he was Carl. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, he was Cockknocker. He was Donald Swan in the comic book movie. He was Crow in Sushi Girls. Star Wars The Force Awakens, Star Wars The Last Jedi, Star Wars Rise of Luke Skywalker. He's yeah, I can skip. Sorry, I gotta bring it up. Sorry, buddy. He was on the Cosby Show. He was on the Cosby Show. He was on General Hospital. Wow, that's actually a pretty big one.
We know he was motherfucking Luke Skywalker, goddammit.
Hey, listen, I have to bring it up so you understand. He was on the Muppet Show as Luke Skywalker. Also, you guys have to remember that Necro has never actually seen Star Wars. Well, that's right. He played on Sequest DSV, which was a pretty big series. He played himself from Third Rock from the Sun. He was on Saturday Night Live. He was in Star Wars Evolution of the Lightsaber Duel. Mystery Science Theater 3000 as P.T. Mind Slap. He was on The Big Bang Theory. He was on The Mandalorian. Video games. Voice roles. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Voice roles. He was the Joker, of course, in Batman. He was on Scooby-Doo, Wing Commander, Sinbad, Beyond the Veil of Mists, another Scooby-Doo, another Batman, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Wow, he had multiple roles on Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. He was also Scooby-Doo from Jane and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yeah.
He was Colonel Muska from Castle in the Sky. That I didn't know. Batman again. He was Joker once more. Queer Duck the movie. Ultimate Avengers. Robotech. Tom and Jerry Shiver Me Whiskers. He was the Skull. He's the Hanukkah zombie from Futurama. Didn't know that. He is Deacon Babyface Boretti and the store owner from Scooby-Doo Camp Scare. Scooby-Doo again. He was the Trickster and Sinestro from Lego DC Comics Superheroes Justice League Attack of the Legion of Doom. On the regular show, TV show, he played Skips. I did not know that. Well, now I know. Yep. He was also Chucky from Child's Play. There's a weird one for you, huh? Oh, I'm not even gonna go through the rest of these. I'm gonna stop right there because those are just lists. I'm just gonna stop there. Those are just lists after that. It's just lists and lists.
It's alright. If you look at his upcoming stuff, Masters of the Universe Revolution, he plays Skeletor.
He-Man! I will defeat you, He-Man! With my new plan to use bone weaponry! I will give you such a mighty boner! Evil Lynn!
Fantastic.
Evil Lynn told me to give you these pills. They will give you boners. I will control the boner. What? What do you mean that's not what they do? They do what? What is what? He-Man, curse you! He-Man! By the power of Grayskull, He-Man has a boner! Oh!
Emotional damage.
Are we quite done now? Are we quite through with the skips and buttons and everything? I don't know, that's why I'm asking them.
Alright, I'm done.
Hey, that was some emotional damage for Skeletor.
What do you mean, bro? Yeah! I am He-Man! Fear me! And everyone else, yeah!
Hey, if I'm a necromancer, can I bring him back to life?
I'm already alive, you fool, yeah!
But as like a full person instead of Skeletor?
Actually, in one episode, you find out that Skeletor is actually part of an alien race that just has a skull for a face. He's not technically dead, he's just a douchebag. Like, it just makes him appear like he's like the most evil member of his group and they get rid of him by shooting him to another planet. Like, that's it. He's just a dick. That's all Skeletor is. He's just a dick.
Snarf.
Snarf, snarf! No, we're not talking about that freaking Heathcliff bar. The best thing they ever did when they remade the series was made Snarf not talk.
Yeah.
Of course, they ruined everything else about the series. He-Man versus Lion-O, the power of the two greatest Chippendale dancers. John, close your mouth. You're gonna catch flies. He-Man, how dare you? What'd I do this time, Skeletor? You know what you did. Evil Lynn is constantly sneaking over there for some reason. I'll find out why. Oh, I'll tell you why Evil Lynn keeps coming over, because of my boner. No! Curse you, He-Man! Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I'm Sand Skeleton. And my brother Papyrus over there. Are you a human? Here's my trap, human. Figure it out. Motherfucker, that was a real bomb. I have a bomb strapped to my chest. If you don't surrender now, I'll detonate it and kill us both. just cuts one of the lines. You saucy bitch! Are you kidding me? That's a real bomb! We both could have died! You win this round, boy. I can't remember who made the animation, but it was great. They had Papyrus leave a plate of spaghetti under a little box with a little stick holding it up. And you see him, he's like, come on. And he pulls it and falls in. I got him! And him and his brother are standing right next to the box. And he goes, I got him! And he picks up the box, and he's underneath the box eating the spaghetti. Then who picked up the box?
Boxception.
Boxception. You never figure that part out. It's just like, okay, dude, whatever. Oh boy.
So how about actually speaking of Inception? Apparently, DG found a Fortnite clip of it being a map fully Inception.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Apparently it exists, and yeah, it's trippy as a motherfucker. You'll fucking keep falling and going to different rooms, trying to kill people. Yeah, it's weird as fuck. Fuck off, Kyle.
Anyway, so hey man, getting back to the original subject, I honestly think that there are more failures of remakes and reworks and rewrites than there are any success.
Oh
Yeah.
I mean, the original Avatar movie that came out, not Last Airbender, but the original Avatar movie, when it came out, it was very amazing. For instance, until I really realized it, I didn't realize that all the humans were CGI. The entire movie is CGI. I thought they were real humans. It was spectacular. It was amazing. It was wonderful. They promised another movie coming out in 8-10 years, somewhere around there. And when part 2 came out, what happened? What happened? We're going to search for the water tribe so you can learn how to move water with your mind. As if you're bending it. Huh. From here, we're going to go and find the earthen tribe next. So you can learn how to move the earth in a bending manner. This whole time, the Fire Nation, the Fire Tribe is trying to find you. You're our last hope. It seems that your body seems to be from an air tribe somehow.
It's like they made Avatar, the actual Avatar movie, instead of that craptastic one that we got.
That's right. And they traded really weird animated humans for really weird casts that are supposed to be sexualized in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I don't see it. I don't see the attraction to any of the Na'vi. I don't.
Neither do I.
First of all, the hair thing, that's kind of creepy.
Unless of them, maybe you will look up Rule 34 of it. Maybe I will then.
No.
Of course you would. Well, those Na'vi are different from these Na'vi, so I mean, I guess maybe, possibly. But yeah, it's just, you sit there and you question it. You question, like, what happened to Hollywood? At one time, Hollywood was full of people that were attempting to make the best movie.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it seems that Hollywood is out to make the most money.
Mm-hmm.
And nowadays, that's not even working. Like, people hear box office hits. They hear this movie made $12 million in opening sales, and $8 million the next, and $4 million the next. And then you have to add the price of making the movie, the price of digitizing the movie, the price of showing off the movie, the price that you have to pay the actors, the actresses, etc. Y'all don't realize just how little these movies actually made. Jurassic Park came out. When Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park came out, it made so much money. I can't even begin to remember how much money it actually made. But in the first 3 or 4 weeks, it was #1 in the box office, untouched, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 million dollars a week. Now a box office movie is something that makes $9 million in its opening sales.
the old rule of thumb used to be it had to make 3 times its budget to be a success.
Well, in that case, Disney's effed up because they have. If you added all the amounts they've made from all their live actions, they are not making anything. They are losing.
No, exactly.
But they're box office hits. Oh, The Little Mermaid is a box office hit. Hits $19 million in its first weekend. That's wonderful. How much does it make the second weekend? Because so far, $19 million isn't enough to pay for the movie.
I'll give you an example. Jurassic Park's budget
Okay?
was $63 million.
I figured it was somewhere around there. Actually, I figured it was like 70.
Its total box office was $1 billion.
That's a lot of money.
Right.
Would you do me a favor, John, and look up the range of, say, the live-action Aladdin movie, which was a box office hit, by the way, according to the news and everything.
What did you want to know?
It's total versus how much it costs to make. If you could. You don't have to, but if you could.
I'm looking it up now.
Okay. Just because he happens to know where he's looking right now. I have no idea where he's looking, but he knows where he's looking. I'm not tickling you. Do you feel it?
Budget was the Aladdin movie from 2019. The budget was $183 million.
All right, cool. They had to have made several $billion back.
In the United States, it made $356 million. That's U.S. and Canada. And in other territories, it was $695 million. So it made a total of $1 billion.
Oh, okay, but what I'm seeing here is it costs $163 million.
$183 million to make.
$183 million to make. Jurassic Park cost how much?
60. It was.
Let's just say like 60 million. All right.
63 million.
63 million. 1/3, roughly, of what Aladdin was.
Mm-hmm.
And it made the same amount. Which one is more successful? You'd think, you'd think it'd be Aladdin, but no, it was Jurassic Park. And that's only to make it, by the way, folks. That's not how much it costs to pay off the stars, how much it costs to have it spread around the internet and everything like that. Nothing like that. Promotions.
Just to let you know, The Little Mermaid. $250 million budget.
Okay, and it's made. Come on, it's got to be like $3 billion now, right?
No.
$1 billion.
I don't like that laugh jug.
I don't like that laugh jug.
It's not making the money that they wanted to.
So what is that money, Jug? I just have to know.
The box office right now is $328.1 million. Off of a $250 million budget movie.
Now remember, what we're looking at is just the cost of the movie. What we're not looking at is promotions, what they had to pay the actors, anything like that. They're just talking the cost of the movie. You start acting those other factors in, and suddenly it changes.
Right.
But you look at a movie called The Blair Witch Project.
Oh, please. I don't.
Hold on. It was made for $200,000.
Oh, wow. I didn't think it was expensive.
It made $248 million.
That's a success.
Yeah.
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 That's a success. costing $328 million and now making only $350 million. That is not.
No.
In '94, Clerks, $230,000 budget. It made $3.8 million.
Yep. We're like, okay, so for instance, let's just say that we look at the actress who's the main actress of The Little Mermaid. Does anyone happen to remember her name? It starts. It rhymes with Shally Harry.
Halle Berry.
It's almost as if people knew. All right. So, how much do you think it cost Disney to hire her on to do that part?
I'm gonna say like 50 million.
Good estimate. Good estimate. Okay, that's one of the characters. So if we round it up to about 30 characters throughout the film, including voices, and stick it at about $50 million, that's $150 million right there. No, sorry. That's $1.5 billion there.
Halle Berry was paid around $500,000 for the role of Ariel.
Okay. 500. Wow, that's it?
Yeah.
Wow, cheap. But still, that goes towards the movie as well. The cost of a voice director, the cost, making the movie is one thing, but paying off the stars and everything, that also adds to it.
Right.
Oh. So what we have is The Little Mermaid, which is already marked down as a box office hit, which is not a box office hit.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What is going on with these movies? Like, I know The Matrix was a big name movie. I know The Matrix was huge.
And the thing is, it's not just directors, actresses, actors and that. It's also advertising too.
Well, that's the other thing I was bringing up. That doesn't count the advertising.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, let's just say that you use a Super Bowl. 15 seconds in the Super Bowl is like $1.9 million or something like that, just for 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's every time the ad pops up. It's a lot of money.
Yep.
That adds up quick. The Little Mermaid was a box office blip. Oh, how are your wood chickens doing? How's your wood chickens doing?
You look at Avengers Endgame.
Oh, jeez.
Their marketing budget alone was $200+ million.
Yeah, and that's just the marketing. That's the marketing. That's not the cost to make the movie. Oh man, and that's only 12 of them, by the way. You can still make 4 more of them. But yeah, if you get rid of all those wood blocks, look how fast they bring them back. It's scary.
Oh, I know.
And that's just the wood chicken. If you can get yourself a flint chicken, you can make a coal chicken. That does that. If you get a nether chicken, you can make an iron chicken, which makes iron like that. Have fun. Anyway, what I'm getting at is like, a lot of these movies out here are just, they're just trying to make money and they're failing. Hollywood has got to do something. Hollywood has got to do something. And my personal belief is, I think it's about time Hollywood stops with all these super big name blockbuster movies, which are failing them wildly. Let's not even talk about DC. Can you name a good DC movie?
No.
Can you name a DC movie that may have given you a weird boner?
Maybe Joker was a good movie, but it wasn't Joker.
It wasn't Joker. Now, that wasn't Joker. I don't care how many people say that was Joker. That's not Joker. That was some dumb schmuck who thought he was the Joker, and then I hope the real Joker came along and killed him at the end of the movie.
No, they're making a sequel. if you really want to know how bad Hollywood has gotten, Paranormal Activity.
Oh,
No,
Rob.
no, we're done with that. Don't even go down.
No.
Don't say it.
Budget versus how much it made. Last one. The first Paranormal Activity had a $15,000 budget.
Okay.
It made $193 million.
Okay.
It's proof, though, with just the Blair Witch Project and Paranormal Activity, that you can have a low-budget movie still make money.
Right.
Well, something I was getting at was like, let's look at the price of Halle Berry. Halle Berry cost them $500,000 to put into the movie.
Mm-hmm.
What would it cost them to pick some random chick off the street? Some random starlet who wanted her first big role.
Mm-hmm.
They probably would have done it for $50,000 or even less. Nope, we got to bring in a big, full, gigantic name like Halle Berry. No, you don't. You don't have to. Juggernaut's right. You don't need a big budget to make a very good movie. You don't need a big budget to make a very good game. Let's look at a game that currently is being played by one of our cast members. Necro doesn't seem to be playing anything. Juggernaut doesn't seem to be playing anything. My hands are here, so I'm not playing anything. I wonder who I'm talking about.
Mama Bear.
Do you know how much it costs for them to make the original Minecraft? Like the original game itself, the design and everything?
Don't know.
Dirt. It cost them dirt. A gentleman by the name of Notch and a few of his friends made it for free in their garage.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding.
Wow.
Free. They made it for free. After they made it and everybody wanted it, they started charging $10 a copy. Not $60, $70, $80, $90. $10 a copy. Nowadays, it costs $30 to buy the game. But Notch sold the game off to Microsoft. A big budget company that only cares about one thing. Making money. Nintendo. PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Alright?
Mm-hmm.
To many, you might think that these four groups have nothing in common, but they do. Let's talk about fan-made games, shall we?
You mean like Pokemon games that we play?
We could do that. We'll talk about that. Back in the day when Sun and Moon was first coming out, another game came out, a fan-made game, on the same day. It was called Pokemon Uranium, folks. A free-to-download, fan-made game for a group of people who wanted to show off how much they loved the game. They even sent a copy to Nintendo saying, please, we spent all these years making the game. We just want your opinion on it. It's free. We're not charging anybody for anything. Now,
Once they heard that F word.
before I tell you the story, allow me to give the reactions to the other three. PlayStation said that if they had control over Pokemon, they'd have no problem with the fan game. In fact, they'd help people to make the game a reality. Xbox said they would hire them in on the spot and they could start making their own personalized game. PC said, keep it up, good job. Nintendo said, you have 24 hours to remove the game or we're going to sue you for millions and millions and millions of dollars. Now, I bring this up to bring up another topic, okay?
Okay.
You may not have heard it, but have you ever heard of Need for Speed Nitro Edition?
No.
You wouldn't
No.
know because it's a fan-made Need for Speed game.
Ah.
The individuals who made it wanted to show off how good they thought the game was, so they went and made a fan-made version of the game. Now, Nintendo told Sony, you need to find these people, you need to sue them, you need to tell them that you need to send a message that you don't want people making your game. Sony told Nintendo to go shut the f up, or they would stomp them into the dirt like they have been for the past decade. Found the people who made the game, kept the game free, hired on the people to help make another game. That game, of course, would be Need for Speed Underground 2.
Ah, nice.
I say that to bring up a third game. I'm not done. I have one more, okay? How many people have heard of the game God of War?
Yeah.
How many people have heard of a game called Halo?
Yeah.
Okay. These games have something in common. They're both from Xbox. Originally. Now, of course, they're everywhere else, but originally.
No,
they're
no.
Xbox.
No, God of War was PlayStation.
Was it? I thought it was originally Xbox.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
But anyways,
Gears of War was
Gears of War. Anyway, so these games have in common that they were Xbox games.
Yeah.
When Xbox found out that there was a group of individuals modding the games to make them more fun and enjoyable and everything like that, what do you think Xbox's reaction was? You think they were upset with the guys?
Probably not.
Do you think they tried to fire them or whatnot?
No.
Nope. Showed up at their house a week later, offered them a check, and offered if they would come on and join them. The thing I bring up is the fact that we have 3 groups here that have all done the same thing. They hire on the people, they make the games free, they have fun, they enjoy it. And we have one company, Failtendo, who decided that they were going to sue and eradicate anyone who made a fan game of theirs, even for games that they no longer played. For instance, did you know that they haven't made a good Metroid in forever? And when a fan group made a remake of it, they sued them. Now, funny thing is, every time they've tried to sue somebody for making a fan game, they failed.
Right.
However, it always had the same ending result. They had to remove the game from the internet. Why? Oh, why, Failtendo? Are you guys such a bunch of uppity assholes? Pardon my language. I have to know why failures like you believe that you have to do these kind of things. When Sony, Xbox, and even PC would rather hire on the people, help support them, or ask if they could put it on their own system. But instead, what do you guys do? What do you think, Juggernaut? Why do you think they fail so hard?
Is they trying to get rid of other people. I know, I'm not Juggernaut. They're all fan-made games.
It's because they want it, in my opinion, they want it whereas we want to charge an exorbitant amount for something that they create rather than allow something for free.
Right.
It's all about the paycheck. It's all about the money.
And that, my friends, right there, is the reason why all these remakes, these repurposes, these retools of the games are coming out. They aren't for us. Don't let it fool you. It's not for the fans. That's it. Nintendo, video games, Hollywood, you should really be ashamed of yourselves.
Give me another example. Paramount. The fan-made Star Trek movies.
Never heard of them.
Paramount says you can only make a fan-made movie if it's 15 minutes and there's nobody from any of the former Star Trek franchises in it. But if you look at Lucas when Star Wars was coming out, he hosted his own fan-made movie conventions.
Yeah, that's where we found out about Star Wars, the Christmas edition. Oh. Anyway.
That's something that should have been buried in the past.
But listen, but Paramount gave them options. You can make them 15 minutes long and there can't be the original cast members in there. But that was what they gave them. And that's workable. Nintendo did not give them anything.
Yeah.
They did not give them a, hey, you can't make money off it. They didn't do a, hey, you just can't call them Pokemon. No, they've threatened to sue the people. They sued people who made friendly Mega Man games, friendly Castlevania games, fan-made Metroid games. Anytime a fan-made game has come out, they've sued. In fact, they've sued companies like Static. Volt. Volt's a well-known downloadable site similar to Steam, where you can download games from there. They've sued them. They've sued multiple shipping companies. They've sued many, many people just because they made a fan-made game that was free. They weren't making any money off it. Weren't making a dime off of it. There are literally sites out there that are now protecting these smaller sites from Nintendo by literally not allowing their algorithm to be able to search for them.
But
What?
But wouldn't some of these fan games fall under fair use? Because is any of it copywritten?
Well, for instance, the name of Pokemon is copywritten. That's copyright. It is copyright.
Okay.
And it is owned by Pokemon of America. However, little known fact, Pokemon from America is not owned by Nintendo. They basically rent them out.
Okay.
If Pokemon had it their way, they wouldn't be attached to Nintendo anymore. Nintendo just keeps making a new game and a new game and a new game, so nobody can take the rights from them.
Okay.
That's all. It's like the Winnie the Pooh thing with Winnie the Pooh, the horror movie. Blood and
That's because Winnie the Pooh is now public domain.
That's right. And how did it become public domain? Because they didn't do what? Anyone?
Because they couldn't keep the fans happy?
No.
Because they couldn't keep paying the copyright.
Close. You're very close, Nick. Juggernaut, you are the closest without going over. Congratulations. Your prize is $5 kaiju. Anyway, trade them in for kaiju cash anywhere else. The fact is that they hadn't made a single Winnie the Pooh movie, game, video game, etc. in 10 years. If you don't do that, copyright runs out. Here's the thing. Disney knows that Mickey Mouse is about to run out. Mickey Mouse is their bread and butter. They know it's going to run out, and they're doing nothing.
DC's doing the same thing.
I know. They don't want them. They want to be fair use. They want to be thrown out everywhere. By the way, in case you guys are wondering, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, what a horrible, stupid movie.
Oh, really?
Oh, stupidly, stupidly stupid. You can watch it if you want, but you root for the bad guys, all right? That's what I'm going to say. You root for the bad guys. There's nothing likable about the good guys. You root for the bad guys. And it's going to get worse because coming up, there's all kinds of movies that are coming up that are about to go straight down the rabbit hole. And all these people are come out and they're going to try and vie for the rights for it, and they're going to steal the copies, and they're going to do everything in their power to make their foot in the market. And they're all going to fail because they're all going to try and do it some way differently. Winnie the Pooh has no right to be a horror movie. The Banana Splits have no reason to be a horror movie.
Right.
But they are. Now I could sit here and say to my face that I grew up with the Banana Splits and that they were a wholesome family fun activity and they were wonderful. But it doesn't matter, they're free use now. And the first thing people thought was to turn it into a horror movie, which ended up sucking horribly. But they're okay with that because they made money off of it.
Right.
And the same thing with all these remakes and reboots. They got everybody, myself included, all hyped up about how cool the Final Fantasy VII reboot was going to be. They didn't call it a reboot then, though. They called it a remake. It's funny how they can switch it around real fast after they failed so hard.
Right.
But Final Fantasy VII, the remake, was not the remake. It was a horror show.
Yes.
It was stupid. The gameplay was crappy. The only thing that was good about it was the CGI and the animation. That's all that was good about it. And after they saw such backlash, after they saw so many people being so negative about the game, it's now been 7 or so years since it came out.
Something like that.
No sequel. No DLC. Nothing they promised the fans. And if you go to the site now, it no longer says it's a remake. Now it says it's a reboot. They're rebooting the franchise instead of remaking it. How do you go so far? And it doesn't even bother you. That's what I don't like. When George Lucas made movies originally before he quit, George Lucas made the best movies he could make. He didn't care if it made $5 billion or $5. He wanted to see the fans' reaction. He wanted to see the fans walking out of the movie like, oh my god, that was amazing. He was on a bicycle flying through the air with this little guy in the cart with him. That raptor ate that guy, etc., etc. That was what fueled him. Now look at them. Disney sucked so bad it destroyed the Star Wars franchise, the Marvel franchise, the DC franchise. Killed them. Destroyed them. They don't exist anymore. They were so bad. The movies were so horrid that they can't come back. They're done. There'll never be another good Batman. There'll never be another good Avengers, Iron Man. They're gone. They're done. And yet, to them, it was a success. To them, it was a victory. To them, they made the best damn movie in the world.
With the exception of Josh Friend's Fantastic Four, which we don't talk about.
They've never made a good Fantastic Four movie. They've never made it. If someone could make a Fantastic Four movie.
If you go with the Roger Corman version that was never released.
No. They've never made a successful, good Fantastic Four movie. They've made an amazing series about the Fantastic Four that were all animated, but never made a live-action Fantastic Four movie that felt decent at the least. And to make matters worse, they have access to one of the greatest villains to ever exist. Dr. Doom.
Yep.
A man who owns his own country. Who has both scientific, alien, and magical powers. Who has literally gone back in time to fight through every major war to learn how to fight. This man is a monster. This is the kind of guy that if you put him into an anime would trump the anime community.
Right.
There's some animes where they could maybe go hand in hand. There's some where he'd get crushed. Like he couldn't fight in Dragon Ball Z. Actually, he probably could. But what I'm getting at is he's one of the greatest villains ever designed. Fantastic Four is his main villain. It's his main threat. He doesn't read the comics. Doom never shows up against the Avengers unless the Avengers do something stupid.
Right.
But he's always trying to kick the out of the Fantastic Four. He even kidnapped one of the Fantastic Four, Susan Storm's daughter. Brought her to Latvania. But he didn't do it to hold her hostage. He did it so he could be with his goddaughter for a little while. He announced that he was with his goddaughter. He chose the goddaughter. And when Susan Storm said, no, such and such and such and such are the goddaughters, Doom, without skipping a beat, said they are no longer fit to be godparents. He killed them. He killed the godparents just so he could be the godfather.
And his goddaughter stayed with him there, didn't want to be taken back.
Yeah, after spending some time there, she didn't want to go back. And it got to the point where he basically looked at them and said this line that I love. He said, I have only been with my goddaughter for a few days, but if anything happened to her, I would destroy the entire world and myself afterwards. You don't f with this man, all right?
Nope.
You don't f with this man. He took a crumbling country and turned it into, freaking, what's that one from Avengers? Wakanda. He turned it into Wakanda. No one fucks with this country. As people love him. They're not afraid of him. They love him. He is the greatest person to ever happen. And he loves his people. And he will literally tear the earth asunder to protect his country. But on the other hand, he's the world's biggest douchebag. And he knows it.
Yep.
He knows he's the cock of the walk.
He thrives on it.
Yeah. He doesn't just, he thrives on being the biggest dick in the room. You do not have a dick measuring contest with this man. He wins. Okay? Thanos, freaking Galactus, it doesn't matter. He wins. It's that big. You don't like it, he'll just kill you.
Yeah.
But he knows it. He knows he's the biggest dick in the room. And that's what makes him such a great villain.
Yep.
He's a villain to the rest of the world, but to his people, he's the greatest of heroes. To his allies, he's a supreme and generous man. But to his enemies, he is a walking definition of natural disaster. America, leave me alone. I'll leave you alone. 5 minutes later, I fucking told you to leave me alone. And just sinks half the fucking country. Because he can. Because some American spy was spying on him. And he's like, motherfucker, what did I just say?
He can start with the West Coast.
What?
He can start with the West Coast. We're kind of on the East Coast.
This is the kind of guy that Dr. Doom is. He is literally, you know what he is? He is the lawful version of the Joker.
Yeah.
America, I am Dr. Victor Von Doom from Latvania. Leave my country alone. Don't stand in my way. And everything will be fine. And then you see like 4 people bust in. We're here to kill you, Doom. And he just like snaps his fingers, kills him, and goes, motherfucker, you had to start with me, didn't you?
He'll take out Florida, California, and some of the West Coast.
I'm going to begin eradicating your countries by letter in the alphabet. Sweet home Alabama. And it's just gone. Okay? There is no...
What are you doing to our country? I told you.
I told you, leave me the fuck alone. What part of that didn't you understand?
I'll only take out Alabama if you stop. 4 more guys come in. There goes Alaska.
I was like, all right. We cool, America? Yeah, we're cool. Okay. 15 minutes later, motherfucker, I found one of your spies. This is going down. But that's about it. I just noticed that it's 10 o'clock, so we're going to end the live stream now.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us. I also see Necro falling asleep in the background.
If you want to see a part 2 of this, let us know.
Don't ask. Just give us a different topic. Because I think we can put it through the ringer.
Yeah.
But until next time, he's napping Necro Nick.
I'm not napping, motherfucker.
He's just here, Juggernaut Jared.
Hello.
And I'm collapsing Kaiju K. And she is the Minecraft Master Mama Bear.
Hello.
And we will see you all in the future.